Christene Marie, and I wanted to jump on here tonight to talk to you about one thing that I was reminded of earlier today that it honestly has completely changed the way that I engage in relationships, and frankly, a core habit in terms of just how I show up every day. And one of those things, actually, it wasn't even today, it was yesterday morning. I woke up and I was reminded of something that I have to be the one to administer tender, loving care to myself. I have to be the one to give myself my own TLC. And we hear about TLC all the time, and it's kind of like almost like a joke at this point, getting TLC and I'm giving myself TLC time. And normally when I've heard of effectively giving or receiving TLC, it's more so in regards to receiving it from other people rather than self-administering, giving it to ourselves. And I realized this like a month and a half ago. I was talking with my partner at the time, and I realized that I was sitting there waiting for him to give me care that I had not yet given myself. And when I realized that, it completely stopped me in my tracks, because what that did was that it showed me that effectively I'm looking for someone else to meet a need that I have that I'm not willing to meet for myself. And frankly, that was a really humbling experience, because it's entirely unfair and frankly kind of hypocritical for me to be asking someone to meet a need for me that I haven't done the work to meet for myself. It's almost like by us meeting our needs ourselves, we actually model for other people how to treat us. We train people how to treat us. So if we're not getting our needs met by other people, it probably means that we haven't done the work to either communicate what our needs are, or perhaps even worse, we actually have never modeled it ourselves. We actually have never even met our own needs to begin with. And so I'm wanting to give myself this little rule moving forward, that I'm never going to ask for something which I haven't first given to myself. Because another thing to that point is that, what if I ask for something and it's not actually what I need? Because if I've effectively tried and tested it on myself and proven that it's something that is life-giving, something that it is meaningful to me, man, that's going to make such a difference in my relationships, both platonically and romantically. I remember when I was married, my former husband would ask me like, "Well, what do you need?" And I had no idea. And I was like, "Well, I just want to feel loved." And obviously, there's a lot to that, where you can tell if someone's emotions and heart is in the way that they're treating you. But beyond that, I wasn't able to give him any specific action, any specific behavior. And so, y'all, if we don't know ourselves what would be life-giving to us and what would actually minister to us and be meaningful, man, that's going to be so hard for us to help our partners love us back. It's going to be hard for us to have other people care for us if we don't know how to care for ourselves or how to receive care from others. So, effectively, if we don't become the caretaker of our own hearts, the caretaker of our own minds and bodies and souls, no one else is really going to be able to do it for us. So, effectively, we need to train ourselves to receive. And then we can start hopefully training other people how to give that to us too. So, my rule for myself moving forward is that, one, I don't ask for things that I haven't first given myself, so that I know that it's actually tried and true, it's proven. And also, I need to make sure that I'm meeting my need first, and then I can communicate it to others. Because, man, if I'm walking around like waiting and needing something and I'm on depletion and I'm empty, it's going to be a lot more dangerous for me, because I'm waiting for someone else to come and fill the void in me rather than filling it myself. That doesn't mean that someone can come on top of what I'm doing and add even more love in my tank or gas in my tank. But man, if I'm running on depletion, I'm probably going to rely on something that's much less than my ideal or much less than my own standard. So it's almost like we're tempted to settle if we're running on depletion and we're kind of running desperate. So I need to meet my own need. I need to communicate it to other people. I need to communicate it to my family too, because y'all, if we're waiting for one person, that's what I did in my previous marriage. I really was looking for my husband to be everything, and that wasn't fair. And I think he was looking for that too. You know, we never knew what a healthy relationship looked like. So the more we can meet our own needs, know what they are, communicate them to multiple people, and diversify among who we are receiving love from, man, y'all, we can receive love from our family, from literally our siblings. Tonight, I'm at my sister's house right now, and we just had so much fun this evening, and we watched the most cheesy Hallmark movies, but it was so much fun, and honestly, there's something really life-giving about laughing and really kind of pursuing those dopamine hits in a really pure context, in a really wholesome way. There's something about that that does feel like gas in the tank. So, we have to know first what our needs are. We have to know how to meet them. We have to be the ones to meet them first and foremost, and then once they're tried and proven, we can effectively share those closest to us so that we diversify our needs and so that we allow for multiple people to love on us because we need people. Guys, we're made for community. And so the more that we're whole, the more that we're actually able to give to ourselves, the more we're also able to give to others so that they can also be receiving from us too. Because if my gas in my tank is full, then I can also share it with others rather than me running around depleted, potentially sacrificing my standards because I'm so empty and so desperate for love and connection and belonging. Rather, if I'm filled up, I have something to give in return too. So, with that, thank you all so much for joining, and thank you all so much for joining me tonight, seeing your comments tonight. Patricia, Borja,